shame about it. Young children in their teens, in their early 20s, they are participating in so many immoral things just because they wanted to buy a phone. They wanted to own phones, or they wanted to feel like they exist. These are children that have become broken at the early age. No thanks to a system that allows that. Sometimes it will make you sound like you are becoming old. But we are not old. We are just worried and afraid for what the future holds. You should too. Because in the same process, you see the young people that are involved in some horrible crimes too. Crimes that ordinarily, where you won't get delivered. To be a kidnapper, armed robber at 19, 20, 22. How? Because you're probably still pretty much busy trying to figure out your life. You are still there in school or somewhere, learning apprentice or something. But today, the economic pressure has been it has fallen on the younger people today, that they feel so pressured enough that they see themselves as failures. Imagine a 22-year-old looking at himself, no real education, no real skill, nothing, and he sees himself as a failure. How old are you? I'm 22. You are 22, for goodness sake. How can you see yourself as a failure? I've not bought a car. I need to build a house. At 22, you have no real education. You have no real skill. Nothing. But you already see yourself as a failure. What kind of a country, what kind of a society is that? A doomed one. Think about that. Even though in that same space, you will see people in their 40s. They have no plan of actually like starting a family, because they were among those who believed that getting education is one easy way out of poverty. So let's go to school. Let's blow all our money. Today, the entire system no longer care about them. As those without that same education, those who are pretty much, who chooses the supposed ruinous path in the past, are now the ones running the affairs of things. It is endless. It's unbelievable. Let me use this again. Let's go to Lagos, where Wahabi Wole was at what's this place called again? Ijesha or something. Sele, right? Doing what he knows how to do best. Trying to clean up the MegaShitty. Let's start with this one.
Hello? Yeah. You are actually disturbing me because I'm in operation and I don't pick phone when I'm in operation. Wait for me now. When we come in, you see me now.
That's the MegaShitty. There is more. There's always more. I'm going to keep that for the next time because my time is now fast spent. Okay. And I just want to leave us with something like, if we have a chance of turning the wheel, I advise us that we shouldn't turn it back to where we are coming from. It should be a new direction entirely. And when you are turning the wheel as well, make sure you are the one by the wheels, okay? So that those who drove us into this state of nothingness are never involved in any direction or any path that we choose or we intend or hope to choose. A lot is wrong with that place, a lot. But solution has to come from the admittance. We must first admit that this is not right. This is not a place. This is not how to live. And we are all against the force that think this is actually how we should live. There's some force that believes that this is the way. And we are standing in their way if we think this is not the way. So those of us who already have children, those of us who already have children, there's something to be worried about. It is the future that those children are going to feature in. That future is bleak. You may be trying to build one for yours. When you look at those whose future they have already stolen, mortgaged, ruined and destroyed, then that automatically make your own children that future that you think you already are building for your own children. That puts it in a serious jeopardy, risk. Like I said, when I started Mayegun's Diary Political and dedicated most of my time following the activities of the ruiners of Nigeria and the consequences of their actions, I feared for my own future. I feared for the future of my own children. The tough environment to live in a place where you were never meant to actually live or to visit. But we had to cope, we had to learn how to live in this harsh weather, harsh conditions, and everything associated with living in these countries, acclimatizing and the rest of that. But when you now remember that there are millions whose future has been totally mortgaged, like stolen, they're never going to get it back. But they will actually need to survive too. You see, those children, they fail to give a proper quality education. They are the danger, the threat to your own children that you have paid for their own education. You've invested, a lot of us have invested in that, we call it our future, which are our own children, right? Like our own parent did for us. Now, the difference is that our parents were not rich, but there's something they did invest in, and that was us. You see, this generation of children or sorry, this generation of parents, they are becoming so poor and so detached that many children are on their own. They would have to figure it out themselves. I belong to a generation where indeed it took a village or a community to raise a child. Today, the parent of today, you are on your own. And those children from this parent of today, they would have to figure it out themselves. Whatever life throws at them, they would have to figure it out. And that's why you're going to see more of them in jail, in different crimes, in different things that ordinarily would kind of like, shake you as a human being. Nobody to guide them, nobody to guard them. And that then comes to that part where I was like 12 years ago, when I started the Mayegun's Diary Political, I felt like there will be a time that things will get so bad, so worse. You see, those children, they fail to train, then they will grow up, they will become adults. They will have no other means or other ways of surviving than criminality. Because crime will not be crime to them then. It will be called Ozu. It will become survivor. So it will be called survivor. And today, that's what you're having. 12 years ago, I saw that. What you call crime 12 years ago is what they now called Ozu in Nigeria. But everybody is hustling, we're all hustling. They hack your phone, steal your money from your bank, and then, do a lot of things that usually they were at the lowest scales years ago. They call it hustling. They organize to kidnap people and demand for money that they will never be able to work for in their entire life at once. And if you don't give them the money, then they kill you. They work with those who are ready to do organ harvesting, just to to harvest other people's organs for money. So I was so feared for the future. I was scared for the future. 12 years ago, I thought if I started then, I could possibly get a lot of people on my side that will also echo the same thing, because I felt back then that a day will come where I will be driving in my nice car. And that untrained, criminally minded young man in this contraption will see me as a potential client, a potential victim that they could extort. And I will become vulnerable, that the system would have become so broken that I would not be protected. And even despite the fact that I have contributed nothing to the failed system that took away everything from this kid, I will still be a victim of that same system. It's happening already. From the north to the south, it's happening. People are being taken, people are being kidnapped, even though they are not politicians or public office, a player or anything. But because they are easy targets. The society has now breeded criminals who don't see what you call crime as crime anymore. They see them as survivor. And therefore, you have to live in that same time with them, or else you are just a fair game. So if that is what I saw 12 years ago, imagine what I am seeing right now in the next 12 years, if things continues like this. Just imagine it. That is why I kind of feel like my platform is my only bargaining chip. So if I ended up being the victims of this failed system, maybe I can just, before they deal with me, and say, see, I did my best to. I did my best to raise awareness, call the attention of everybody who cares to listen, that if we don't break up this contraption now, it will break all of us. And when I say break us, You probably can imagine what it means, because some of us won't even live to tell the story when Nigeria happens to us. So for the last time, I'm going to say, to save Nigeria, please break it up. Save lives. Please. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you some other time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
ha kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé.